Hello Abnormal Family. I'm doing a 2 video drop today for you guys. I thought y'all might like that. And we're going to see how it goes to see if both of these videos get enough views, and if they do, then we'll talk about doing some more videos and possibly, maybe doing more than, 1 or 2 videos a day. For a little insight, I'm currently 20-year-old male, and this happened back when I was around 14 years old. To be completely honest, I always believe that some things are out there that we cannot simply just explain. This all happened on a nice summer day in Florida. I was going over to my friend Chris's house to spend the day with him. In his backyard, he has a little patch of woods about 30 yards or so away from his back door, which happened to be a sliding glass door. I walked through that door ever since his family started piling things near the front door. For some reason, as I walked in, I saw Chris playing video games in the living room, as usual. I said, "Hey Chris, where's your parents?" His response was, "At work." But something didn't sound right in his voice. He was usually the happy-go-lucky type of guy. I asked what was wrong, and what he said caught me off guard. He said, "Something is living in those woods that isn't normal." You can imagine what it is like hearing that as a 14-year-old. Not the best thing that could have been said. I casually said, "Okay," as I tried to play it off as it didn't bother me, but it really shook me. I asked Chris what he meant. This is what I remember him saying that stuck with me. "It comes at night only when the moon is the biggest in the sky." Now, if that isn't the most ironic and just a cliche thing, then I don't know what it would be. It so happened to also be the last night as well that I will ever see Chris. Chris later followed up all of this and asked me if I wanted to stay the night. I really didn't want to, but I felt like he needed me there for him to calm him. So, I sadly agreed and really wish I didn't. The day rolled on, and as it flew by, before I realized it, the sun was already setting and the night was upon us. I'm not going to lie to y'all. I was nervous because the way he said it only comes at night hit me. So as the sun went away and the moon was full, we still sat in the living room playing Call of Duty until about 8 p.m. When out of the literally nowhere I felt eyes on me. Like a giant brick wall hit me with the emotion all at once. I looked out into the woods and of course I couldn't see anything. I asked Chris if he feels off or if he felt like he was being watched. He agrees he feels the same. So immediately after that we both bolted into his room. Mind you, his dad doesn't get home until 11:30 p.m. Minutes roll by, and we both decide we should go back out there. As we walked out of his bedroom door, something in me said, "Don't go back out." But I didn't listen because I wanted to be, the badass 14-year-old who isn't afraid of anything. We got into his living room. Chris at this point is in near tears. I asked if he still felt like he was being watched, and he said yes. We both figured it was coming from the woods. I asked Chris if he had any source of light to shine out into the woods. He ran into his parents' room and grabbed a flashlight. We both stepped outside with the feeling still upon us. I snatched the flashlight and walked about 20 yards out and scanned the tree line of the woods. Yes, I was trying to be the tough guy. I must have scanned about 85% of the tree line when the light struck these two, what I thought for a second was yellow headlights peering behind a tree about 3 or 4 foot off the ground. I thought it didn't make any sense. I stayed on it, not moving, half because I was curious and half because I couldn't move because I was terrified. I can tell you, I felt like it was only me and whatever was making these headlights appear. I was frozen. Then I snapped, because I saw these headlights come out to be eyes. I watched them gain about another 3 or 4 feet in height. Chris screamed, and I heard him run back inside. A moment passed, and I saw its claw grip a tree that was in front of the tree it was hiding behind. This claw, I swear to God, could have gripped a full-sized dog with no issue. Once I saw that, I booked it into his house. I slid the door closed and I locked it, knowing full well a piece of glass isn't going to stop this thing. I screamed for Chris to hide, and he already did. I hid behind the couch that was about 6 or so feet away from the sliding door, praying this thing wouldn't come into the house. I heard this crunching sound coming from outside the glass door. I wanted to pop my head up and try to see what it was, but honestly, I didn't have the balls to do it. I heard panting and a weird type of snorting, like if you were trying to smell something too hard. I had It had to be at least 9 p.m. at this point. I heard some more of those sounds, then I whispered to Chris, hoping it was close by to where he could hear me. I faintly heard, "Yeah." I asked, "Is this what you said? You doesn't know what it is? Is this what you were saying that comes out only at night?" I heard a loud bang and a growl coming from the right of the screen door. My instinct was to hop up and see what it was. I turned on the flashlight again and put my hand over the light, gathering enough courage to pop up. When I did, and swung the light toward the door, I saw something absolutely nothing. Then, just like the horror movies, this thing walked into view. It felt like years. Thick, brown fur, long what seemed to be black claws, and a snout. With those same yellow eyes. It had to be a damn werewolf. That's all I could think. Thinking it's over, and it would kill me because it saw me. What struck me the most was the eyes. When we locked eyes, I felt lifeless. I felt nothing but pure predatory instinct. I was sitting duck. Then from outside I heard 2 pops and a grunt, and all of a sudden the door was covered in blood. I screamed. Chris screamed. We ran upstairs to the room, locking the door, throwing everything against it, even his dresser. Finally, his dad arrived, and we heard him yelling for us downstairs. And when we went downstairs, he told us not to look out the front door, that the family dog was now in 2 pieces laying outside. Something had pulled the dog apart. At this point, we're both bawling. Chris's dad goes and grabs his rifle and tells us we're not sleeping in the front room tonight. We're all sleeping upstairs in Chris's room. We barricaded the door that night, and we did not go downstairs. We heard snorting, growling, sniffing, all sorts of weird noises, even howling. After I left that night, I never went back to Chris's house. I was too afraid. Chris would call me and ask me, and I would always say no, which caused us to fight. I think he honestly just wanted somebody there with him because he was afraid. It wasn't long they moved away, and now the house still sits empty. No one wants to live there. It's all grown up now and fallen in. That was the scariest effing night, Mike, I've ever seen. And I will never ever go back to that place. I don't care. You couldn't pay me enough. What I seen that night scared the shit out of me. And I wish these things did not exist, and I wish they wasn't there for you guys to hunt. Because I'm telling you, I wish I would have never ever seen this thing. Ever. Thanks for sharing my story. Yeah, that's pretty evil. Probably shouldn't have went outside by yourselves, especially without your dad being home, but I understand teenagers trying to be the tough guy. Sounds like you all got your fill that night. I'm glad nobody was hurt. It sounds like he probably did want a friend there because he was afraid, and this has probably been happening to him. The poor dog, man. I hate that for the dog. It really bothers me. I wish the dog would have been inside, having something like that outside. But I understand sometimes we can't do that. And outside livestock dogs you can't bring in because that is their job, is to protect the livestock from, wolves and stuff. Not werewolves, but from wolves and coyotes. So I understand that as, living on a farm. I'm just glad that y'all are okay and you was able to get out of there. I'm sorry that it still bothers you. Everybody, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting me. I hope you enjoyed these 2 drops today. And smash the like button if you do. And guys, we'll catch you on the next one. Don't forget to keep your head on a swivel. Don't be something's dinner.